Hello and welcome to On the Break. I'm here alongside just Joel this time, back to the old days, I guess. But today we're going to be doing an NBA mock draft, and it should be an interesting one. I have
Mm,
7 teams. Joel has 7 teams. He's doing odd numbers. I'm doing even numbers. But before we get into that, how you doing? It's been a minute.
I am doing very well. The mock drafts are now out and about. You know what I mean? The draft lottery was just the other night, and I gotta say I'm not too disappointed. I'm not too disappointed, being that I am, like I said, I'm a Spurs fan, but I'm also like an obligated Knicks fan. I understand that they were projected to get 6, they got 8. I am not too mad about it.
Okay.
I am not too mad about it, only because I do feel like there are prospects in this draft that are worth taking at this position that could definitely help the Knicks. So I don't feel like they're out of anything. I don't feel like they're out.
Yeah, that's a
You know what I mean?
unique sentiment I've heard. A lot of Knicks fans are just saying this is just another day of pain for me. Getting
It
number
it
8.
yeah. It all just comes down to if we can hit on this pick.
Here's the
Cause
thing,
like,
though. The Knicks hitting on a pick doesn't happen ever. It just doesn't
well,
happen.
it does happen sometimes, but when it does happen, they end up trading him.
Yes,
That's
yes. Or he just
yeah.
walked. He just says, "I don't want
Or
to
he
play
just doesn't.
anymore.
Or he just doesn't want to be
Get
like.
me out of here, please."
Think about this real quick. When they picked Frank Ntilikina, they literally could have
Oh,
had They could have had Donovan Mitchell.
they could. And every Knicks fan wanted Dennis Smith Jr.
Every
They
Knicks fan
ended
wanted
up
Dennis Smith,
getting. They ended up getting Dennis Smith Jr. in free agency,
and
and
now he
Donovan
doesn't play.
Mitchell. And
Now he
yeah,
doesn't play.
exactly. And Donovan Mitchell just scored 57 points, and he's up 2-1 on the Nuggets as of this video. So you double whiffed. The Knicks double whiffed from
And
that draft.
not only that, they picked Kevin Knox when they could have had Shai Gilgeous-Alexander,
Yes.
or they could have had Michael Porter Jr.
Yes. Michael Porter Jr. obviously injured, but like he's just a better player.
But
And
He was still projected to go in the top 10, though.
yes, that's true. He
Yeah,
was
he
projected to be
was.
high. He went like 15th, but he
He
still
went
was
like
projected high.
15th.
But for the Knicks, I believe it was. I don't know if it was the last time they had the 8th pick, but one time they had the 8th pick. The 7th pick was Stephen Curry. So I mean, it's not as bad as the Timberwolves, who had the number 1 pick, who picked
Uh-huh.
Ricky Rubio and Johnny Flynn over Steph Curry, but that was years ago. This is
That was
2020. Right now, the Timberwolves have the number 1 pick in this draft after winning the lottery. The Golden State
that's me.
Warriors have 2. The
Hmm.
Hornets have 3. The Bulls have 4. So on and so
So
forth.
on, yeah.
The 2 and 3 odds, I found this interesting. The 2 and 3 odds were the Cavs and the Warriors. They
I
were in
thought
the finals 3 years ago.
the Cavs, this is the second year in a row that they get the 5th pick. I honestly thought they were going to be in the top 3 guaranteed, top 4
Yeah.
guaranteed.
I mean,
I
I
thought
think
they
they would
were.
have liked to, obviously,
If
but
it,
I mean, I don't know.
I honestly thought the Timberwolves were going to drop. I was really shocked to see that they didn't, and they ended up getting 1, obviously. But I was very shocked because when I saw the top 4 reveal, I totally forgot the Timberwolves were even in there. I
Yeah.
was like, the Timberwolves are there? Like, what
They
the
were
hell?
bad. You forget how bad they were.
I
But
forgot.
hey, what? But anyway, they're the number 1 pick now, which
He has the
is
number 1 pick.
their last time they had that
My
2015.
pick.
Your pick, the Timberwolves.
My
Last time
pick.
they were in this spot, they picked Karl Anthony Towns, who's been pretty good for them, I think.
Very great.
Can they get another Rookie of the Year? Who do you think they're picking at number 1? I think it's pretty obvious, but we'll see.
It is very obvious. I'm not going to waste much time. It is Anthony Edwards. There's no
There you go.
question on this. It's Anthony Edwards. They need another shooting guard to put aside D'Angelo Russell, because D'Angelo Russell, the little time that he spent in Minnesota, didn't have much success. You know what I mean? There's a lot of young guys there, but Anthony Edwards, I feel like he's 19, 6'5". That's a good height for a guard, especially shooting guard. I feel like they traded for Malik Beasley, right, from Denver.
Yeah, they had.
So I feel like he's gonna be a free agent this summer. Or no summer. What am I saying? I'm so used to saying that now.
It's just what
In
you
this
always say. This
in the
summer.
off season,
Yeah.
he's gonna be a free agent. I feel like they're not gonna re-sign him.
No.
So Anthony Edwards to put it alongside D'Angelo Russell, and you have Karl Anthony Towns at the 5. Come on, like
That's pretty
this
good.
is a no-brainer. I don't think it's a no-brainer. Anthony Edwards is probably the best player in this draft. He was averaging just under 20 points a game, which was the highest of all D1 athletes. Like, come on,
Yes.
I don't think that you could possibly mess this up if you're the Timberwolves.
No. I mean, it's Anthony Edwards, a shooting guard out of Georgia, the freshman. He probably would have come out of high school if they let him, but he had a great year at Georgia. I like him a lot. Easy pick for the Timberwolves. They get that shooting guard, D'Lo, Cat, Edwards. They're on a good trajectory. I mean, they were in the playoffs with Jimmy Butler. He's basically just replacing Jimmy Butler. I don't think he's as good yet, but he's got
And
potential.
I feel like they don't really have a lot of forwards. That's why I was like considering getting a forward. But honestly, if they wanted like let's say Obi Toppin, they're not drafting him at 1. They got to trade down.
And I don't think they will. I don't think you can pass. It's hard to pass up on the number 1 pick.
Or just, figure out what to do in free agency. That's about it. That's all they can do.
Yeah, I mean, you could sign Joe Ingles. I think not Joe Ingles, Joe Harris. I'm thinking of. He's a free agent this year, and he's one of my. Yeah, they're basically the same player, right? Joe Harris is one of my key free agents this year. There's like 5. He's going to be the biggest signing if the Nets keep him or not. But that's besides the point. Anthony Edwards to the Timberwolves. Expect to see that. If you want to bet on it, go bet on it. It's going to happen. But
I'm betting on it.
Go for it. I will not stop you. Put your life savings on it. But the Warriors,
considering there's no trades, come on.
Unless if there is a trade, which we're not doing trades in this mock draft. That's basically impossible to really predict that. People try to predict it, and it just doesn't work. I mean, you had the Mavericks and the Hawks trade that one year. That threw literally your entire draft off. But we'll see what happens. But one team that can trade their pick and one team that I don't think will trade their pick, although they're looking into it, I don't think they're going to get the return they want. The Golden State Warriors are picking at number 2. Yes, that sounds weird, but it's what they're doing. They are a championship contender when healthy, and they have the number 2 pick. Wow. I mean, everybody was like, oh, well, the Warriors are going to get the number 1 pick. It's 2020. Bad things happen. Here we go. And the Warriors need a center. Of all the things, they don't need guards. They don't really need forwards. They have Andrew Wiggins now, although he's been a bit of a lazy player these past few years, but center is the only real hole for them. And there's a clear second best player in the draft who is a center, who is coming out of Memphis, although he barely played for them because the NCAA doesn't like players getting money in any way, shape, or form. James Wiseman. He is a great center. I love his game. I love what he can do for them. And he's a center that you can just plug in and he's going to be good at the very least. He's young, he's talented, he's a guy you can develop, and he's James Wiseman. There's not much else you can really not much you can really say about him. Yeah, I think it's a no-brainer. A lot of people were saying that the Warriors should take LaMelo Ball.
No way. No, it is a no-brainer. It is a no-brainer.
Your biggest need is center. LaMelo Ball is a point guard.
You're asking me for the next 3 to 4 years to rely on Kevon Looney and Marquise Chris?
Yeah, no.
I'm not going to do that.
I love those players. I actually really do like their games. But they're bench players. They're not starting caliber players on the Warriors at the very least.
Exactly.
And James Wiseman is a clear potential star. This is an opportunity that a team like the Warriors can't pass up. They could very well continue the dynasty picking James Wiseman. I don't think it's very hard to say.
It's not hard to say at all. Honestly, yeah, I would feel like had the order be a little differently, James Wiseman could literally go number 1.
Yes.
He could literally go number 1. Only reason why he's not is because Timberwolves have Cat. That's about it.
If the Warriors had the number 1 pick, I'd have them picking James Wiseman number 1.
Yeah, but obviously this is, considering that there are no trades, but the Charlotte Hornets are at number 3.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you a little story. This was 2.5 years ago. I'm not sure if you were involved in this conversation or not, but I was talking with a few people back in high school, junior year. This was when LaMelo Ball was kind of on the rise, right?
Yeah.
I literally said, and you could ask some people that I'll tell you about later on.
Okay.
They could confirm this. I literally said, I would love to see LaMelo Ball with the Charlotte Hornets.
Here it is.
And 2.5 years later, it could very well come true unless a major trade happens. LaMelo Ball to the Hornets. I think it will happen.
Yeah.
Terry Rozier has not really been working out for you as you would have hoped. Devontae Graham has really worked out for you, but here's the thing. He's going to be a free agent this year. Restricted free agent, I believe, actually.
Yeah, I think he'll end up staying with Charlotte, but you never know what happens with that team. They just
if they end up keeping him, I honestly feel like he can be another CJ McCollum and end up as shooting guard.
Yeah, I can
because
see that.
he's a great shooter. I don't really see him as much as a passer. He could pass if he needs to, but he's a great shooter, which the Charlotte Hornets need. They need a playmaker right now, and LaMelo Ball will be that for you. And just a little scenario I was thinking about because, obviously this is a few picks later, but I don't think Andre Drummond's going to end up staying in Cleveland.
Okay.
And Charlotte is in need of a center. So you can get LaMelo Ball, have Devontae Graham as a shooting guard, and possibly sign Andre Drummond.
That'd be a good squad.
That'd be a great squad. Exactly. So, this is just one of those pieces to fill that squad. And I feel like LaMelo Ball to Charlotte, I think it will happen.
Yeah, I think we both kind of agree that on this top three, we don't know what else we're going to do. But this top three, we kind of said, yeah, it's going to be Edwards, Wiseman, and Ball. LaMelo Ball, obviously you have the LeVar Ball controversy, and I think we all want to see Michael Jordan interact with LeVar Ball. I mean, that guy said he could beat Michael Jordan one-on-one. So,
oh my God.
And I think MJ might just say, you know what, we got 10 minutes. I'll 21-0 you in 10 minutes. That would happen. It would just
happen.
Yeah, but I don't think Michael Jordan's going to have any of it. He's going to be like, it's not your kid anymore, it's mine. He's in Charlotte. I got this from here. I'm Michael Jordan. You're LeVar Ball. Sit down. And if LeVar Ball's smart, which I doubt he is sometimes, but he also is a good person. I won't say he isn't. But, I mean, I don't think it's going to be as bad as the Lakers with Lonzo. The hype around LeVar has kind of died down.
I feel like it was LeVar, being with Lonzo in LA. That was the problem because now that he's in New Orleans and he has a freak with Zion throwing lobs to, he looks amazing. Lonzo does. He's shooting a lot better. He doesn't really feel like the spotlight's on him. Like this is his team. Because
you got Brandon Ingram, you got Zion. It's not his team anymore.
It's not his team. But he's still a good player. I'm not gonna say he's a bad player. He's a good point guard. I like him. He's
great defender.
Okay.
I love Lonzo.
He's a great defender too.
His offensive game when it comes to scoring needs a lot of work.
It improved though compared to last year.
I mean, he was terrible in the bubble. But people were saying that he might be leaving and whatnot. They might be making a trade somewhere. But
I noticed he was starting to do really well once the Pelicans were out of playoff contention and were still playing games. He was doing really well because he had no pressure on him. I feel like he's not good under pressure. Once there's nothing to lift off him. Just say, hey, just go out there and play. He does pretty well.
Yeah, never really was good under pressure at UCLA as well. You saw the games against De'Aaron Fox. He was not it. So that might be a thing you have to look out for.
Exactly.
Lonzo Ball under pressure. Almost said LaMelo. But I think LaMelo's
going to be better than him. I think he's going to be better than him.
I've always been on that bandwagon of LaMelo Ball being better than Lonzo. I mean, he's just he's just such a smoother game. Lonzo is the defender of that family. LiAngelo is the failure, and LaMelo is probably the best scorer out of this group. I think LaMelo probably has more to do. I mean, he would have probably at least got signed, but he decided to steal glasses from a Louis Vuitton store for no reason.
I thought he was on the OKC.
Was he? I don't know.
I thought he was.
He's just faded off into irrelevance, though. So, but I don't know. I give up on him. I think everybody gave up on him. But LaMelo is going to redeem the Ball family here, and we'll see what happens there. Number 4, you have the Chicago Bulls. A very interesting case here.
I have no clue what they're going to do here.
I
have no clue what they're going to do here.
I don't know what they're going to do. I had 2 names that I had here, and you didn't take any of them, so good.
Okay.
But they have 2 needs, and that's point guard and forward. And it came down to me, what's the best player available at those positions, and what's the biggest need for them at that position? So I looked at the starting point guard of the Chicago Bulls, and I saw Thomas Satoransky. I remembered him.
Well, they also got Kobe White. Because
they do have Kobe White.
See, this is what I was thinking about Kobe White.
It's weird.
Just before the season was, delayed because of COVID and everything, Kobe White was balling out. He was dropping 30 a night, 30, 40 points. He was going off. I don't think a lot of people remember that about him. That's why I'm just give him his minutes.
It's
just
hard.
Give him his minutes.
I mean, they just fired Boylan. They just fired
Boylan, yeah.
But the Bulls had their main lineup be Satoransky starting. It was so weird. I don't know who they're gonna hire. They haven't made an official hiring yet, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know if they have an interim right now, but it's going to come down to that coach. Depending on the coach they hire, this will be a clearer pick. But yeah, they have Kobe White, they have Thomas Satoransky. I was thinking maybe you drop Tyrese Halliburton into this, but I think that might just cause some kind of a logjam at the point guard position that you might not want to see. So the next name that I had was Obi Toppin out of Dayton. I know people. He's going anywhere from like 3 to 11. He was the best player in college basketball, guys that played a full season, and Dayton was on pace to make some really real noise in the tournament. Obi Toppin has a ton of offensive skill. He's an athletic freak of nature at 6'9". His defense needs to improve though, and
Needs improvement.
It's very coachable.
As a power forward, you need to be good at defense.
Yes.
And it's like he's explosive on defense, if that makes any sense. Like if he has like one crazy block, then yeah, people are gonna look at that and be like, "Oh my god, I need to play defense." And it's like, no, you didn't see what he did the entire game. Like after that, like
he also never had to guard anybody really insane in that conference.
But you're not gonna put Obi Toppin against like a guard. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
he's gonna guard whatever their the other team's power
forwards you never heard of. Never heard of.
But he has the offensive ability to exploit that matchup as well, depending on who guards him. With how explosive his offense is, with how explosive his athleticism is, I like him a lot. But he's a very coachable player, and I think if he remains coachable, his defense will improve. His overall offensive game will improve. He'll get an even better jump shot. And he's a nice piece you can develop. The Bulls,
he's 22. Yeah,
22.
I feel like as far as age goes, I feel like he's the most NBA ready. It's just if he just improved that defense, he could literally be like such a great power forward in this league.
He also isn't it. This is also a situation where he doesn't have to start right away.
No, he doesn't.
You have Wendell Carter, Lauri Markkanen, Zach LaVine, and the guards are the guards. But you can let him sit on the bench for a bit, give him the Denzel Valentine treatment, which didn't really work out, but he's still on the roster, so we'll see where he goes.
I feel like Lauri Markkanen, I like that you brought him up because he is always hurt.
Yeah.
He's always freaking hurt. So like I feel like he's so you can put Toppin in and see what he does. And then if it works out with Toppin, then just trade Lauri.
Yeah.
Just trade him. Like
you can get some good assets for him. I'm sure a lot of teams are willing to get him.
He was a good player that not a lot of people expected to like blow up the way he did in his rookie year, sophomore year, and then he just got hurt.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I really do I like the Bulls situation. They just need the right coach for it, and they need to coach the players well. But I think that's enough with the Bulls. Number 5, the Cleveland Cavaliers. What do you got?
All right. So Cleveland, like I said before, I do believe that Andre Drummond is leaving. I do think because Andre Drummond said he wants to go to a contender. I don't really think he wants to go to a rebuilding franchise like the Cleveland Cavaliers. I do feel like they're a lot better than they were last year. That's not really saying much, but I like Colin Sexton. Darius Garland could improve, so they don't need any guards. This is what I was looking at because would they end up trading Kevin Love? I think that's what it comes down to because I got 2 guys in mind.
Okay.
I got 2 guys in mind. Onyeka Okongwu, a center, and then Denny Advia, because I feel like Denny Advia could literally be what they were hoping Cedi Osman would be.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
That's what I was thinking. But now I'm like, okay, if Andre Drummond is leaving, then they're gonna draft a center. So I feel like it's gonna be Onyeka Okongwu here. Okay. They need a center badly if Andre Drummond ends up leaving.
Right.
And someone like Cedi Osman, I feel like he's still young. He's like, 25, 26, something like that.
Yeah,
so
he's
I
still
feel
got
like
time.
There's still room for development there for Cedi Osman. So I do feel like he can develop into a role player. He's not going to be a star. I don't think he is. I don't think he's going to be anyone special, but I do feel like he can be someone that can help out in the offense, help out on defense. But he's a very good playmaker. I like it. I like his playmaking skills. He's all right in that. But that's what you got your point guard for. We don't really need you to do any really playmaking. Exactly. So I feel like Denny Avdia can hold here. Onyeka Okongwu, this is just to fill the center need. If, and Tristan Thompson's up there in age. Kevin Love, they've been having, before Andre Drummond got there, they had Kevin Love playing center for a while. And, he got hurt, then he came back, and it's just a mess in Cleveland. So I feel like if they ended up letting go of Andre Drummond and trading Kevin Love, 1,000% they're taking Onyeka Okongwu here.
Right.
1,000%.
I think, the center, what they do in free agency in the offseason, what their plans are, what Andre Drummond does, that's going to be a big factor into what this team does. But I really think you said everything there. It's just Onyeka Okongwu isn't anything special to me. He's a great athlete. He can do what the Cavs need him to do, and that's about it. He's a safe pick, I'll say. But we'll see what happens with them. I mean, Andre Drummond could do whatever. He could sign a max extension, not a max, but he'll sign a great extension, but it depends. 6 belongs to the Atlanta Hawks, a team that has been building in the draft. And they hit they hit on Trae Young, but they basically traded Luka Doncic for him. I do think that both Luka and Trae fit better in their respective cities and their respective teams, but that is what they did. But Trae Young has been a superstar. He's been a great shooter, and he's been needed to be surrounded by other players that can handle the ball and shoot the ball as well. But their front court is great with Clint Capella and John Collins. I don't think they need to pick a center here or a power forward. And, I mean, they've had DeAndre Bembry playing on this team. Their small forward position hasn't been much to really mention. They have Kevin Huerter playing shooting guard, but that small forward's been a hole, and I think that's where Denny Avdia comes in. He comes in, the 6'9" out of Israel. He is the Israeli MVP. And, not a lot of people really know about him. I'll say I could learn a little more about him, but he could be a second kind of ball handler while also playing forward. And I think that's exactly what Trae Young needs. Trae Young has been handling the ball so much on this team. And he needs a break from that. He needs to, not have to worry about having the ball in his hands so much, be able to play off the ball as a shooter more. So I'm going to go with Avdia here. What do you think?
I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like you picked the wrong guy.
Okay.
I feel like you did. Only because I feel like, okay, you want to pick small forward. I feel like that's fine. I honestly thought you were going to pick Isaac Okoro.
Okay, fair.
I honestly thought you were going to pick Isaac Okoro. Only because, okay, obviously they got Clint Capella now. He hasn't played for them yet. But their defense was atrocious last year. It was horrible.
Best. Yeah.
It was horrible.
But a lot of that goes to Trae Young. That's my thing. The guard defense.
I understand what you're trying to say, though, because I'm thinking about it. I'm like, okay, I agree with, taking a little bit of a load off on Trae, but Isaac Okoro is a far better defender than Denny Avdia is. So that's why I was like, do they really need off? Because I feel like, the way Trae Young is trying to be kind of like a Damian Lillard type, Steph Curry type, where, he shoots long range. He could drop 30, 40 a night, like, no problem. But Isaac Okoro is when it comes down to, playing defense where I really feel like they lack. So I would have gone with Isaac Okoro, but Denny, I don't hate the pick. I think it's okay. I think
Here's
it's all
my
right
thing.
pick.
Here's my thing. We're assuming we're not factoring in potential trades. If I had to put money on this, the Hawks trade this pick. I really do think so. And I think they can trade with a team like maybe the Knicks, maybe the Wizards.
You think they're trading down?
I can see the Hawks trading down. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, think about that.
They did it last year, I believe. And then the Pelicans were able to get Jackson Hayes out of it. So they're a team that likes to do that. And there's a lot of talent in the middle of this draft. I mean, they did it with Trae Young. They did it with last year.
I even think about that because Hawks do trade a lot in the draft, like first round. I never even really think about that.
But I think if they have six, if for this situation we're doing, if they have six, I think they could pick Denny based off potential and just everything that he can do with the ball. But I feel like knowing the Hawks, they don't love what they can get unless they can get assets for it.
In other words, if they do have this pick, they're picking a small forward.
Correct. Yeah, small forward for sure.
They're picking a small forward here. Like who they have? Oh my God, they just drafted him last year.
Exactly.
Hunter.
Oh yeah, Hunter. Oh my God. You know what? I'll go to Google. You keep going. Hold on. Hold on.
Okay, so he was obviously the pick that the Lakers traded to the Hawks.
Cam Reddish, DeAndre Hunter, who's been playing. Yeah.
DeAndre Hunter.
DeAndre
Oh,
Hunter. There you go.
Yeah, he, as you can tell, he didn't really hit on us. He didn't really hit anywhere.
I mean, I like them. They're just
I
depth
like
to me.
Reddit. I like Reddish more, honestly. I like Reddish a lot more than I did DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah,
and
I like him.
DeAndre Hunter, obviously, technically overall, you could say that, but did DeAndre Hunter. He didn't really play well, but that could just be, a typical rookie year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he didn't really – and also, you're on a poor team, but I feel like throwing a little competition there, drafting another small forward and say, hey, one of you is going to be the starter. Who's it going to be?
You're going to hit on one of them.
You're going to hit. Yeah, you'll hit. Definitely.
And you'll have a good starting lineup. I mean, Kevin Huerter's been an amazing shooter. He's been your spot-up guy.
He's
Trae
a solid shooter.
Trae Young. John Collins is great. Clint Capella's played well. And figure out that small forward spot. You get your starter.
We just got to figure out how they play together.
Exactly.
Like, don't be another Philly situation where you just put 4 amazing players together and then all of a sudden they can't,
They can't function.
They're getting swept right now, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Philly is they can't shoot the ball. They don't really stretch the floor as well, but they try to and they can't. It's not good for them.
That's another story though, but
yeah, exactly. Number 7.
Number 7, the Detroit Pistons. All
Interesting case.
Now, my Knicks are right after this pick, but I'm going to try to be as unbiased as I can here.
Okay.
So, I was thinking about this a lot. You know how much I like Tyrese Halliburton.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't think the Pistons will go point guard here.
Okay.
Only because Derrick Rose is still on the team, and he was arguably the best player on the team last year.
Yeah.
I was looking at power forward because I feel like a little prediction. I feel like Blake Griffin's gonna get traded.
Okay.
I feel like he'll get traded. However, I'm not really looking at trades right now, and I'm looking at their small forward position. I don't see anyone that's like worth. No, exactly. So that's why, like, being as unbiased as I am, I think Isaac Okoro is going to go here. I feel like if, there's no trades, Isaac Okoro is going to go here to fill in that small forward spot. Like I said, he's a great defender, and Detroit needs defenders. Christian Wood was playing very solid at center when Andre Drummond left, and he also kind of plays power forward. Sekou Demboya, he's still a prospect that you have on the rise. He was only 18 years old last year. In the short time that he did play, I thought he kind of proved that he could be a starting caliber player or even just a guy to come off the bench, maybe a 6-man. But Derrick Rose, I feel like they need a point guard, yes, but I don't really feel like they can work on it. They have to work on it this year because Derrick Rose, he was still looking really good for his age. And he has, I believe he has 2 more years on his contract. Like, he didn't sign a 1 year.
Yeah.
He signed a 3-year with Detroit.
And they're definitely willing to keep him signed if
they'll keep him.
So
so I feel like having Derrick Rose at the point will help you a lot. And having a guy like Isaac Okoro in to fill that 3 spot, I think it will work well for Detroit. Like, I'm not saying they're going to win a championship or nothing like that or be a playoff team this year, but it's a start. I feel like as a start, just to have Isaac Okoro there at, just to fill in that spot.
Yeah,
they don't have anyone at small forward.
I mean, that's what the draft is for. It's not really for, you're going to draft your next Steph Curry here. You're drafting guys to fill in your spots. Now, the Pistons haven't drafted that well over the years, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they just have not hit. You can't, people can't even name the past 5 players they've drafted in this league. But, I mean, they've had some hits, not really, but they've had a lot of more misses than hits. And I think Isaac Okoro is a safe pick if he's available at 7.
He's a safe pick. He's a safe pick.
And the Pistons need safe picks. You trade Blake Griffin, maybe get some more assets. You lost Andre Drummond after trading him. So the Pistons are in a rebuild? That's where I have them. A rebuild with a question mark because they are adding assets, but they're not. I just go full rebuild here, trade Blake Griffin and get that going. But We'll see what they do. Next is the Knicks, back-to-back dumpster fire franchises, but sorry to say. But we've actually led your Knicks to get your favorite player in this draft, okay? Tyrese Halliburton is available, and the next point guard situation has not been very good. It's
You
been
don't understand how much I want this kid. You don't understand how much I want him now.
Now I know you may say, "Wow, did we do this on purpose? Did we let Halliburton slide to the Knicks?"
No, honestly, if, like the Pistons pick that I had, like the fact that they were taking Tyrese, it's a chance that they're taking with Isaac. You know what you're getting.
Exactly.
That's where I was going from.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. But I mean, I just don't see Halliburton getting picked. I can see him getting picked by Chicago, but I like Toppin. I mean, the same thing with Denny Avdia. Although I think he's obviously that pick is getting traded to someone else.
And I don't think he's going to Cleveland. Like they already got their guards set.
They're good with the guards.
He's not
Darius
going top
Garland
3.
And Colin Sexton not going top 3. I hope he isn't.
No.
But he's a great player. He came out of Iowa State, and I think he'll fall to the Knicks at 8. I think this will actually, the Knicks getting the 8th pick, sliding, will be a blessing in disguise because Tyrese Halliburton is, in my opinion, a guy that can lead your team. The Knicks need a leader. They haven't had a leader in years. R.J. Barrett is a nice player. Mitchell Robinson is obviously a fan favorite over in New York, but they've never had a player since Carmelo Anthony that has stepped in and said, I am going to lead this team. Tyrese Halliburton did that at Iowa State, and he was phenomenal and went under a lot of people's radars in the world of college basketball because Iowa State isn't a huge college basketball program. It's more of a football program, but he can do it all. He's got the jumper. He can defend, although I'm not sure if he's an elite defender, but he can do his thing out there. He is tough, though, I will say.
This is kind of a hot take here. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but this is kind of a hot take. If you gave me the choice between LaMelo Ball and Tyrese Halliburton for the Knicks, I would pick Tyrese only because I feel like he fits the scheme more than LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball is basically a Ben Simmons that can shoot.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like he is. And Tyrese, you need playmakers. The Knicks need playmakers, and Frank Ntilikina and Dennis Smith are not playmakers.
No.
Frank Ntilikina is a defender. Dennis Smith is more of like a dunker.
They're bench players.
They're bench players.
I would like them in the back end of the rotation as guards that can fill in the spot. But Halliburton can literally do everything that you need him to do. He fits the scheme, and he can drive to the hole, get fouled, and score. You need that as a Knicks team who hasn't had that from the point guard position in a long time. I love Tyrese Halliburton as much. You love him more than I do, but I love him just
I like him a lot.
As you could. What really turned me was a game he played against Seton Hall, and I think he had like 35, and they beat the Pirates. I mean, he's just so impressive every time you watch him. He gets better every time you watch him too.
He gets better. Better.
And to say that he won't get better in the NBA, I mean, I would hate to see Tom Thibodeau abuse him the way he abuses other players, but he might. I mean, Halliburton's his personality can take over Tom Thibodeau. So
probably
we'll see what Halliburton does. I like the kid. I know you like the kid. Let's see what you got.
All right, Washington.
Yeah,
Washington has the number 9th pick. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. If I was Washington, besides the draft, I would trade John Wall. Trade John Wall. Only
if anybody wants him.
I feel like I haven't seen this man play since high school.
Yeah, it's bad. But would anybody want John Wall for a good price? Considering his injury history?
I don't know.
I think it might be too late.
I don't know, man. Like, I feel like if they end up trading John Wall, this is going to be a Oklahoma City Thunder situation.
Yeah.
I feel like John Wall's going to want to get traded, and then Bradley Beal's going to say, you know what, trade me too. He's going to request a trade.
You tell me the Warriors don't trade the number 2 pick to the Wizards? For Bradley Beal? For Bradley Beal?
Hey. Don't even. You're going to. Oh, my God.
Andrew Wiggins on the bench. Put Bradley Beal at small forward.
Andrew Wiggins to the Wizards, Hey.
No. The Warriors will trade the number 2 pick and other future draft picks to the Wizards for Bradley Beal. They don't have the cap space. I don't think they do it.
I don't
But
think they'll
if
do
they
it.
can work, if they can work out the cap space, I would not be surprised considering 2020.
I don't think they'll do it. I honestly don't think they have the balls to do it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I don't think they'll do it. But Washington, though, looking at their pick here, all right, their guards right now, they're still on the team. I feel like I would trade John Wall. Would the
Okay.
Wizards do it? No, I don't think they will. I
He
don't
sells
think the
too many
Wizards will.
jerseys.
And he brings attention to them. That's
Yeah.
the problem. They focus more on that than actual gameplay here. But
A lot of teams do.
a lot of teams do. And I feel like Thomas Bryant is a good center for them. He's a young center. I think he could develop into something good.
Right.
Looking at their small forwards, power forwards, Davis Bertans has improved, tremendously. Like he, I always loved him on the Spurs, went to Washington, and now he's a star basically for them.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at the small forward position, and this is where I think Devin, I believe it's Vassell. It could be Vassell. Is it Vassell?
I mean, let's see, 2 S's and 2 L's. We'll go with
Devin
Vassell. It's either Vassell or Vassell. So we'll just call him Devin.
Devin. There you go. He's going to Washington. I feel like he'll go to Washington. He was a good defender, 6'6". I feel like he's okay. This is another one just like the Pistons, because I don't really feel like you're in rebuild mode. It's just you need positions to fill in spots.
Yeah.
And Devin Vassell, I feel like he's the best small forward that's remaining in this draft.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean,
Like, literally, that's about it.
yeah, I think this draft has a lot of safe picks, in my opinion. I think
It's safe
Devin
picks,
Vassell,
exactly.
Devin Vassell/Vassell is another one of those guys. Florida State could have. This is the first Florida State player drafted. Patrick Williams could get drafted later on. They could have 2 players go in the lottery. Shout out to the Seminoles. But yeah, he's just a guy that the Wizards. They need players to fill in spots at forward and guard even. He's a guy that can do that. So I like the way he plays. I think he'll end up long-term NBA career, a decent bench player. But that's kind of where I have him going. I do like that pick. Although this wouldn't be a bad time to trade as well. I think there's going to be a lot of trades
No, you're
in
going to
the
see a lot of
lottery in the
teams.
top 10.
You're going to see a lot of teams trade into the top 10, trade out of the top 10. Because, like, a team like you said, the Hawks, or even, like, hell, maybe even the Knicks, honestly. Because, like,
yeah, they could trade up.
If the Knicks don't end up getting Tyrese, or they feel like he's going to go, because I feel like they're going to end up drafting a point guard here, they could literally have, like you said, I think you said it right now, you have trade negotiation with the Hawks.
Yeah.
To trade up. Like, I feel like that
You would
be
get
a more
Halliburton at 6. He'll be there.
And then you would probably trade someone like Kevin Knox to the Hawks.
Kevin Knox, Dennis Smith Jr., and the 8th overall pick to the Hawks for Tyrese Halliburton, basically. I like it.
You never know. But
Who knows what the Knicks do?
Phoenix
at number 10. Thank you for not taking the only player that I see fitting with this squad. The Suns went 8-0 in the bubble, didn't make the playoffs. Come on. What's up with that, NBA? It should have been the top 4 teams play in somehow. But you know what? It is what it is. I think the Suns were able to leave on a high note going 8-0, so they have a great trajectory going up. I like the Booker and Ayton combo.
Mhm.
I love what the Suns have. Keep Ricky Rubio, please. They need him bad.
I like Ricky as a playmaker. See, that's another.
He's still
guy
young.
How old is he?
Relatively young. I think he's still in his 20s, I'm pretty sure. I mean, Ricky Rubio, hold on. Give me a minute.
I could have sworn he was like 29.
29. But
Oh.
for what he does, he's still basically in his prime. He came into the league at like 18, and he's still playing basketball at a high level. I love what he does. But
Ricky Rubio, he's literally just a playmaker, but that's what you need.
right,
That's what you need
alongside
at your
Devin
point guard
Booker.
position. You need a guy who's gonna get like 7 assists, 8 assists a game. That's what I feel like is a good point guard. And
Exactly.
Ricky Rubio is that. Like I don't care if you shoot. I don't care if you can defend. Just play make. That's all I want you to do.
Yeah, he's
Just
a playmaker.
set other guys up.
Handles the ball, allows Devin Booker to focus more on scoring the basketball. And that even opens up more for DeAndre Ayton on pick and rolls and stepping out for mid-range jump shots. But what I think the Suns need desperately, and the reason that they weren't able to put themselves in a better position to get into the playoffs, they need shooters to surround this roster. Aaron Naismith is one of the best shooters in the entire draft, a 6'6" guard forward at a Vanderbilt with a 7-foot wingspan.
You're right. I was not going to pick him here.
Yeah. He can defend. He can shoot the 3-ball, 3-and-D player. What do the Suns need? A 3-and-D player. It's an easy pick. Don't trade the pick. Draft Aaron Naismith out of Vanderbilt. I like him a lot. He's a shooter. And I think the Suns could easily sign Joe Harris. I know I said the idea of signing Joe Harris twice, but I like his fit in Phoenix better than anywhere else. But you could easily sign Joe Harris and then have Aaron Naismith on the bench. The Suns,
exactly, and he can learn from Joe Harris.
Exactly. You know, Joe Harris wouldn't be a part of the Suns' potential championship aspirations. Aaron Naismith would be. So, I mean, I just think it's a no-brainer for Phoenix at number 10. You need a shooter. Hey, this guy's one of the better shooters in the draft, and he's got a 7-foot wingspan. He has the build that you can develop. Sign a shooter in the offseason. Easy money. Phoenix Suns.
Easy money. Yeah, I like the pick a lot. I do agree that the Suns need a wing player, especially a shooter. You know, Aaron Naismith, I think, will fit that bill. Like, their power forwards right now I think they're actually kind of old. They have Aaron Baines.
Aaron Baines, I don't think Aaron Baines played really, but he's a center. He's
a center playing power forward. He was playing power forward for a while.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that you could fit in there. Play Aaron Baines. Aaron Baines fan club is a great follow on Twitter, I will say. They predicted the 8-0 bubble as a joke, and it actually worked. So shout out to them. But, yeah, Phoenix Suns, I mean, you could say they need a power forward, but, again, I think they can wait on that. There's talent in the draft where you can get
I just feel like the Suns would need more, like, you know, big men. You know what I mean? Like, just
Kelly Oubre Jr. too, Frank Kaminsky, Dario Saric. They need defenders.
When it comes to my San Antonio Spurs,
yes.
All right,
here we go.
So we have DeJounte Murray, we have Derek White, Lonnie Walker, who I believe is on the rise. He's going to be a good shooting guard for us. I think he's going to be fine for us. I will respect him for this because I knocked on him when we drafted him because I did not like the pick at all because I hated him in Miami. Now that we have him and I saw him playing it in the G League and I saw him playing in the Summer League, he played very, very well and he bulked up a lot. So I will respect him for that. I will admit I was wrong on him. Lonnie Walker's going to be great for us. When it comes to small forwards, power forwards, DeMar DeRozan, I'm telling you right now, is going to leave. We are not going to extend him.
Okay.
I do not think we're going to re-sign DeMar DeRozan. I don't want to because I think he's going to ask for a lot of money that we just don't have or don't want to spend on him specifically.
Right.
LaMarcus Aldridge has another year on his contract, so I feel like it's not the worst case scenario. You know what I mean? I feel like it's going to be fine there. Then you have our center, which LaMarcus Aldridge plays, but Jakob Poeltl, who we got from Toronto, has been a very good center for us. He's a very good blocker. He's a good, in the paint. I feel like he's fine for that. So I'm looking at forwards here. We don't need guards. I don't think we need centers, especially since LaMarcus Aldridge has another year on his contract. So this is where I feel like the Florida State man, Patrick Williams, will go here.
I agree.
That's what I'm thinking here. I'm thinking that only him and Saddiq Bey, they're the two remaining forwards I have on my board. Between the two, I just feel like Patrick Williams is more of a good defender than Saddiq Bey is.
Mm-hmm.
A more NBA ready. Even though Saddiq Bey is 21, I look at Patrick Williams, who is only 18 years old. You put this guy I don't really see him. I see him as a Sekou Demboya, where you could just have him on your G League, have him on the Summer League, and when he's 20, he could bulk up. That's what I'm thinking. I'm looking at him. I'm like, I don't need to see this guy for another 2 years. That's what I'm thinking. And yeah, I feel like under Greg Popovich, if he decides to remain, he is under contract still, right?
If he isn't, he will be. I mean, that's
I think he will be.
The only way the Spurs get rid of Popovich is if he retires.
Yeah, exactly. So. But he leaves when he wants to leave.
Exactly. He's done too much for you to fire him.
Exactly. So yeah, I feel like Patrick Williams is the safe bet here, only because, like I said, I don't need anyone to start right away. I just need somebody who can develop into a star. Because personally, I like Keldon Johnson, who's a small forward that we drafted last year,
Okay.
who he played pretty well in the bubble. He had a lot of minutes in the bubble, and Luka Samanic, who I don't know if he's injured or something, but he did not play. He did not play in the
I just
bubble.
don't think they like to have him in there. I don't
I
know.
don't think, because he was their first round pick last year. Keldon Johnson was their second, and Keldon Johnson's playing more than him. So I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, I feel like Luka Samanic and Keldon Johnson, you give them some minutes, they'll be fine. But I feel like you pick Patrick Williams here just to put him like right away. He's going to be in the G League. That's what I think he's going to be, because we don't need anyone to start right away. I don't at this position. I don't need anyone to start. But Patrick Williams, yeah, I feel like that's a safe bet for us.
Yeah, it's safe. I'll be honest. The Kings are next at 12. If you picked Sadiq Bey, I was going to go Patrick Williams. And since you picked Patrick Williams,
One of the
I'm
other.
going Sadiq Bey, number 12 with the Kings. But yeah, I do like Patrick Williams with the Spurs. Again, like I said, let him develop. He's 18, the youngest player of the draft, born in 2001. We're getting to that point.
Wow.
Where 2000s, yeah, 2001 people are
Bro,
coming in. Yeah.
we're older than him. Oh my god.
Same age. I'm the same age as him. But, you know,
Basically.
it's kind of weird seeing that. But the Kings will take Sadiq Bey. I think he looks good in the Kings jersey, to be honest. I think that's the best fit for him. The guy out of Villanova,
Could
the
be.
Villanova players are the safest picks that you can pick ever. I mean,
Look at
Jalen
Dante
Brunson was picked.
DiVincenzo.
Dante DiVincenzo, Jalen Brunson. You know, obviously, you know, you've had guys that have flopped, but you know Villanova guys will be NBA ready. You know they'll be at least 21 or 22 by the time they come out of the draft. They might be a national champion. Sadiq Bey, I believe, isn't. I don't know if he was on those early teams early in his Villanova career. But
Mhm.
you know they'll have winning experience. And you know they'll be ready for, you know, to take a backseat if they need to. Because, I mean, Jay Wright is a top 4 coach in college basketball. He knows how players work, and he's a guy that has a great relationship with his players. And he'll be ready for the NBA wherever he goes. He'll be able to adapt to this King system that plays a very fast brand of basketball. My thing with Sadiq Bey, he might not be as fast as the next guy, but you know, I mean, they've had Bielitsa. He hasn't been the fastest guy either. I think he's going to be that kind of player, except maybe playing a little bit more small forward than you might like him to. But they need more depth, and they need a guy that can really stretch the floor at the forward spots. And Sadiq Bey does exactly that. He also plays, you know, he puts in a lot of effort every time he steps out onto the floor. He's a guy that you have to worry about every single possession on the perimeter and inside. He'll get in there for some tough rebounds. Sadiq Bey is one of the best players, I think, in this entire draft if he's in the right system. And I think he'll go to the Kings at 12. I like him there. I like what the Kings are doing. They're really young. Sadiq Bey, what do you think?
I like that pick a lot. I do agree that the Kings. This is another one. They just need to fill one. They just need to fill a forward position, because
Yeah.
they don't really have great forwards. Like I understand they drafted Marvin Bagley, who's their center now, but they also have Rashawn Holmes, who's relatively young, and Marvin Bagley doesn't really play a lot because he didn't really play a lot because he had an injured hand, I believe, or
Something
injured
like
wrist. But I feel like something could happen where the Kings could possibly trade up and trade Buddy Hield, because I've heard trade rumors about Buddy Hield a lot recently.
I don't buy them.
More than you don't buy them.
I
I'm
don't
thinking
really
about
buy
it.
them.
I was looking at them and I was like, because Buddy Hield is 27 now, I believe,
Yeah.
and looking at him with De'Aaron Fox, I'm literally thinking to myself, do they really need him? Do they need him? Because like, it's not like you're making the playoffs anyway. You know what I mean?
They
Because
might.
I was thinking, no, I mean like as of recently, like
Oh,
they're
yeah.
always like in playoff position, but like they always miss it. And I'm literally looking at this. I'm like, well, the problem is not De'Aaron Fox. Marvin Bagley, he was hurt. You know what I mean? In the 1 year he wasn't, his rookie year, he played decently well. Is the problem Buddy Hield? is there a scenario where the Kings could possibly trade up for someone? Maybe someone needs a shooting guard, and the Kings do end up trading up. But
Who they pick?
that's another
Avdia, Aaron Naismith.
I was thinking Advia.
Yeah.
I was thinking Advia, someone who could play guard and forward.
Okay, that might not be the worst idea. But how much do you believe in him to be as good or better than Buddy Hield? It also depends on what assets you would get from whatever team you're trading from. If they get the right package for Buddy Hield, go for it.
That would be Hawks getting Buddy Hield.
I would love that so much for Trae.
Think about that.
That would be obviously Buddy Hield, Trae. That would be perfect for them. But from the Kings' perspective,
you could just get a small forward in free agency. I think you can.
Joe Harris, come on now.
Joe Harris.
There we go. He's going to be a hot commodity, but he'll probably end up back in the Nets. But we'll see what he does. But I mean, it's possible. It's definitely possible. Do I think it's going to happen? No.
With this next pick, New Orleans, I'm going to surprise myself here just looking at this board because the only two players left on my board are Killian Hayes and Cole Anthony.
Okay.
I do not have either of them going to New Orleans.
Okay.
Because I'm looking at this, I'm like, Lonzo Ball, I think he's great for Zion. And impressively, because he has improved a lot. I'm going to go with someone straight off the top of my head that I know is a shooting guard. Someone that I know can go in the top 15 at least. And someone that could learn from Drew Holiday. I'm going with Tyrese Maxey.
Like it.
I know he's on that because I don't have him on my board right now, but I know of him being a shooting guard. And I feel like New Orleans need more shooters. Why do you think they signed JJ Redick? Why do you think? Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So and JJ Redick's up there in age. I feel like Tyrese Maxey is someone that can learn from Drew Holiday when it comes to playmaking, and JJ Redick when it comes to just straight up being a dead-eye shooter from long range. So I do feel like this is where Tyrese Maxey goes. I'm gonna be honest. I'm surprised myself here because I didn't think Tyrese Maxey was ever gonna go, in this top 14 a lottery pick. But looking at New Orleans situation, they wouldn't take a point guard. They would not take a point guard at all.
Unless if Lonzo gets traded.
I don't think they're trading him. I don't think they are.
We'll see.
You already got the brand of Zoe to Zion. I don't think it's gonna.
You had Boogie in the brow. They've done that before.
I don't know. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I don't think they're gonna pick a point guard. But I do see them taking Tyrese Maxey, who plays it. They need a shooting guard. Killian Hayes and Cole Anthony. I feel like they're just more shooters than they're more playmakers than they are shooters.
Hayes is more of a shooter. Cole's more of a playmaker, I'll say.
Hayes, my bad, but they're both. Like I said, they're both like relatively small point guards.
Yeah,
and I don't think they need that. I don't think they need that at all. Especially that you had Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who played pretty decent for them when it came to point guards, for the backup point guard. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I do feel like this is where Tyrese Maxey would go.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think it's kind of they're in a similar spot as the Suns. I mean, they have the pieces. They just need to surround it with shooters and work it into their offense. And Maxey's a good guy to have to do exactly that. Now, we'll see if they trade Lonzo. I doubt it, but it's definitely something. It's something in their cards that they might just play.
They're getting a new head coach, so he holds no allegiance.
Wait a minute. The Kings might want to trade Buddy Hield. The Pelicans might want to trade Lonzo Ball. That might be it.
It could very well happen. Like there's gonna be. I'm telling you right now, there's gonna be a lot of trades.
I can see this being a very interesting offseason, especially with the whole bubble thing going on. I think teams might be hesitant to do it, but when it comes down to it, you might get a lot of random trades. But to see a Lonzo Ball Buddy Hield trade will be weird. You might even see a De'Aaron Fox trade.
No, I doubt that.
Depending on the assets you get.
I don't see that.
A lot of players. If you get a good package, trade anybody.
The only reason why I would see De'Aaron Fox getting traded is that he asked for the trade.
Okay,
I don't think Kings will want to let him go. I don't think they will.
Not yet. He's too young. He's got too much left to prove, left to show. I think Buddy Hield has shown what his max potential is. So yeah, but it's something to at least throw the idea out because we've seen crazier things happen in this league. But the Celtics, by the way, it's August 22nd. Happy anniversary to the Kyrie Irving Isaiah Thomas trade. That was an absolute terrible trade for my Celtics. It was bad for both teams. I remember looking back at that trade saying both teams won. No, you both lost. I
They
mean,
both
Isaiah
lost.
Thomas left. Kyrie Irving's just locker room cancer. You got
I
nothing out
mean,
of it. The Cavs got Ante Zizic. Wow.
I will say though, Cavs got a ring out of it.
I guess.
I guess you could say that, but
Yeah, I don't know. The Cavs. Well, the Cavs got. The Cavs didn't get it. They got They got a ring out of Kyrie, but they got pretty much got Colin Sexton. I guess you could say the Cavs won.
oh yeah,
Because
yeah,
they
that is
traded
true.
that Brooklyn pick.
Yeah,
I mean,
the Brooklyn pick.
sure, the Cavs won.
Like,
Whatever. They're not going anywhere as it is. But the Celtics will get past all that. The 14th pick, and the Celtics have another pick, by the way. This is the Memphis Grizzlies pick.
yeah,
The Celtics have another pick in the first round. And I think that with 2 picks in the first round, you can take a bit of a risk. And with Kemba Walker, he's getting up there. He's not old, but
I know who you're gonna freaking pick. I know. it too.
I'm picking Cole Anthony.
Oh,
I'm
God.
picking Cole Anthony. I mean, do I think
I'll
the
be-
Celtics will do it? No. Do I want him on the Celtics? Yes.
I'll be
he-
so pissed off if he goes here.
I can really see it happening. Kemba Walker's getting up there. You signed him to a 4-year deal. You have Jason Tatum. You have Jaylen Brown. The point guard spot. Cole Anthony, he has a big injury. Without this injury, he's a top 8 pick, in my opinion.
He could be. Yeah, I saw a lot of people very early on when New York was projected to get 6. They had him going to 6. You know what I mean?
Halliburton took the place of Cole Anthony on this big board. Basically.
He did because he's a way better defender. He's a way better playmaker. And did he even get hurt? I don't think he did. I don't
Not
think he really had
really.
much injury concerns. I don't think he did.
I haven't heard of any if he has, but
Nothing that influenced big news.
right, nothing that would influence his draft position at least. But Halliburton flew
Yeah.
up draft boards. Cole Anthony fell down draft boards, and he's falling right into the Celtics' lap here. I mean, maybe the Celtics trade this pick. Who knows? But Cole Anthony, one of the most talented players in the entire draft when he is healthy. I don't think anybody can deny that. Now, I won't compare him to Michael Porter Jr. because Michael Porter Jr. had back injuries that we didn't even know if he would be able to play in the NBA. Cole Anthony just had an ACL tear. It was an ACL tear, I'm pretty sure. But
Oh, you said Cole Anthony?
Cole Anthony, yeah.
What ACL? I just know his face got banged up so many freaking
That
times.
too.
Like I saw him with a broken nose. He had like a cut by his eye or something like
Yeah.
that.
I mean, a lot of people like Brad Wanamaker. He's like 32, 31. Kemba Walker's getting up there. Cole Anthony's young. Put him use this pick that you got from the Grizzlies. Draft a guy who's high risk, high reward. See what happens. You draft a big man with the next pick. What do you have to lose if you're Boston taking Cole Anthony?
You got 3 first-round picks. Might as well take a point guard. Like
You
I don't
have-
see why.
Literally nothing to lose taking a risk on a guy who could be the best player in the entire draft.
You could literally go guard, forward, center. if you want.
That's what I would do. Gordon
And then
Hayward is going to go soon.
Just see which one hits.
Yeah. Gordon Hayward's going to go soon. You draft a forward maybe next, and then you draft a center or power forward later on. I like it. I think the Celtics are probably in the best position to improve their roster here in Cole Anthony. If you're looking 5 years down the line, why wouldn't you – I mean, you could pick Killian Hayes and play it safe, but if you want to win championships, you have to take risks. And Cole
That's a
Anthony,
big risk.
being as talented as he is, you have to pick him here.
I feel like, despite I'm obligated Knicks fan, like I always say, and I do not like the Celtics. You know this. I do not like them
Yes.
at all.
I'm aware.
It would be very smart for them to pick Cole Anthony here. It would be very smart for them to pick Cole Anthony here. The only reason why they wouldn't is because Boston. They're probably going to trade again.
Yeah,
Like
you
they
never
always
know.
do. That's what I'm saying.
Usually
That's
when
why
they
I'm like,
get the picks, they keep them though.
they
'cause this
keep
is
them
from
for
a trade.
They keep them for a while. And then
Yeah.
they end up trading them. They end up trading them to like a rival team that you never expect, like Philly. Like they always trade with Philly. I noticed that a lot in a lot of drafts.
They do trade with Philly. That's the reason they have Jason Tatum instead of Markelle Fultz right now.
And that's why, what was it? Carson Edwards got drafted by Philly, and then now he's on Boston.
Yeah. I mean, let's see. I mean, Philly gave the Celtics a first-round pick to draft Jason Tatum.
Yes, they did.
Philly has been just Boston's punching bag, and I love it. I always love to see it. Come on.
I mean, I hate both teams. So I don't really care.
Yeah. Hey,
Go at it. Just fight. I don't care.
I've never been a fan of Philly franchises, in my opinion, but, keep doing it, Boston. Keep winning. But, yeah, I do like it. I think this is the best option. I mean, I don't know if you have anything else to add on the Celtics there.
Not really. Honestly, like I said, Boston, they have 3 first-round picks. I do see them trading because they always freaking trade.
Yeah.
And that's why they're so successful. And they're probably going to end up with 3 first-round picks next year.
Probably. You never know.
You never know. It's what they always do. But
get 2 picks from the Suns for Gordon Hayward. Oh, no.
Oh, my God. But, yeah, I do really see them taking just, if they do end up keeping all these picks, they're going guard, forward, center.
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to happen. Daniel Tice is up there in age a bit. Power forwards. Who is their power forward?
Daniel Tice playing power forward. He was playing center.
Is it Daniel?
They were throwing Jason Tatum at
center.
power forward. They play a lot of small ball. They were playing Jaylen Brown at small forward sometimes. It's all over the place.
I feel like Jason Tatum is more of a small forward than he is power forward.
That's
just me, though.
He is. They usually play him at small forward. But sometimes they'll throw Gordon Hayward in at small forward and have Jason Tatum play power forward. It's positionless basketball most of the time.
It's a positionless. Yeah, it's just forwards. Just put 2 forwards there.
4 forwards and then Daniel Tice for fun.
Kind of like what the Trailblazers do. They start 3 guards.
Yeah.
They start 3 guards.
You would think it's going to be a Nurkic-Whiteside lineup, but no, you play the 3 guards and then you play...
No, Whiteside 6-man.
Yeah, which is low-key better. It's working out.
It's working, but yeah.
But, I mean, here's my thing, okay? And we said this in the beginning. A lot of this isn't going to happen. That's why there's a
this is not going to happen.
That's why there's a 1.0 in the title. Okay, now a lot of these trades won't happen until draft night itself.
We might end up doing this again in like another 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that.
I think you might want to give it a month or so. I mean, it depends when you get closer to the draft. A lot of guys are going to shoot up draft boards, shoot down draft boards based on whatever happens when news comes out. But, I mean, it'll all come out soon, and we'll be there to talk about it as we usually do. If you have anything left to add, go for it or forever hold your peace.
I'm just going to say with these lottery picks, a lot of these teams, just like every draft, you don't really see it now, but a lot of these guys who I believe are all pretty good players, they're going to be busts. There's going to be starting franchise people. Yeah. There's going to be guys that are going to be in the G League for like ever and never get a chance until they're like 24.
Yeah.
But I feel like this draft is going to be very interesting. There's going to be a lot more trades. I saw someone say that because of COVID-19, there might not be a lot of trades because of how much you're not going to, see from players. I totally disagree. I think you're going to see more trades. I think you're going to see more trades than what you typically see because, everyone's trying to move around rosters.
At least on draft, when it comes to draft picks.
Draft night, yeah.
Maybe not so much like players that are already on rosters. But when it comes to draft picks, trade galore. It's going to be a fire sale.
I think. Yeah, exactly.
But we just got to wait for those trades to happen.
We have to wait.
Yeah, a lot of waiting, and I hate waiting, but we have the NBA playoffs still going on. You got to remember that. But other than that, thank you all for watching. Joel, thanks for coming back on the show. You already know we're back. And of course. We will see you later, and at least when these trades go down and the draft is coming closer to beginning. Thank you all for watching. I'm John, alongside Joel. See you later.